Hello and welcome to this Briggs on beer video, and thank you for joining me for another beer review. Tonight I've got a very much low alcohol beer, the Shy Retirer from Badco in North Yorkshire. Brew some great beers. Had quite a few of their beers on draft, but this is a can version of a low alcohol beer. But it's also known as a table beer, but at 2.8%. I'm interested to know how much flavour and if I'm going to enjoy it. The low alcohol beers have got quite popular in recent times. There's some very good ones on the market, and I'm hoping this Shy Retirer from Badco is another good one to have. So let's first open it and let's have a think on what's happening. It's quite lively, as you can see all the bubbles coming out on opening the can. It'll be interesting to see how this low ABV at just 2.8 comes out. So let's have a look at it. Let's see it. Let's have a look at the pour. Pouring a nice hazy golden colour. Looking like this. That's it. That's just enough to start with. You can see it's not a bad head on it. A white fluffy head there. It's not too bad. So let's have a smell of the aroma. Let's give it a nice good swirl, and have to have a second go at that. The aroma, not too big in my opinion. Not much going on, to be perfectly honest. A bit grassy. There's some citrus there, a bit lemony. But the aroma, to be perfectly honest, it's a bit disappointing. They make some damn good beers, the Badco, but so far it's a little unimpressive. I'll just perhaps give it another try. This sometimes enhances the aroma a little by putting the hand over the glass. A bit more swirl. No, there's not much of an improvement, I'm afraid to say. It's there is some grassy. So some little bit of malt, maybe a bit of a biscuity malt, but it's all very subdued. And as I say, a bit of citrus. And as I say, the head retention is beginning to fail a little. So let's have a taste of this low alcohol table beer. No, I'm not. No, it's not doing much for me, I'm afraid. This low alcohol beer. Okay, it's 2.8%, but I've tasted some very good beers in that range, around 3%. I did taste a good one from Dark Star. It was actually cold table beer. I think that was about 3.1%. I had that at the Briggs Beer House in Burnley, and it was excellent. It was very, very flavoursome. Okay, it's slightly less at 2.8, but I can't detect much flavour at all. This, as I said, as it depicted in the aroma, there's some grassy notes there and a little biscuit malt, and some citrus, little lemony, but there's hardly anything there. It's subdued. To be perfectly honest, it reminds me of one of those, those effervescent vitamin C tablet drinks, those where you just plonk the tablet in the glass, it all fizzes up, and I'm sorry to say, it does remind me a little of one of them. It's a little unimpressive, unfortunately, is that so far. I'm just trying to give it another chance. I'll just have another drink. Very subdued. It's the taste is totally non-existent. To be perfectly honest, there is some flavours there. It's quite refreshing, as you'd expect from a table beer. It's quite crisp, but the flavours, it's bland, and they're almost non-existent. I do detect a trace of citrus and a trace of malt, and there is some grassy notes there as well, but very little else, and I'm not too impressed with that, I'm afraid. As regards, it's a pale ale. It's an American style pale ale, I would say. The finish, it's dry, you'd expect. It's bitter, it's lemony, it's some citrus bitterness, you know, just lurking around there. But all in all, that's the Shy Retirer. Well, it perhaps wants to retire, maybe, from Badco. Badco makes some, as I said, some excellent beers, but in my opinion, this ain't one of them. This table beer, this Shy Retirer at 2.8%, almost fizzled out, I'm afraid now. But I suppose in their defence, you would expect that from a 2.8% ABV. But table beers, they are popular. Some are popular, some are not too popular, and that one is disappointing. In all fairness, in all honesty, I'm afraid, from the Badco Brewing Company, Brewing and Distilling Company, I think is their official name, from Thirsk in North Yorkshire. So it's a bit of a thumbs down, I'm afraid. I don't like to. I'm always loath to give a thumbs down to a beer, but I've got to be honest, and I've got to be straightforward in my beer reviews, no kidding, and that's about it. So the Shy Retirer, I'm afraid it will be retiring as far as I'm concerned. It's one I will be swerving, and I hope you've enjoyed this beer review. Whether you've actually had one, I'd love your comments on table beers. And I'm always glad to answer all your questions, all your views, all your opinions. It's about you, the viewer, who has taken time to listen to this video. And I always appreciate your attention throughout the video and what you want to think of all the beers that I'm reviewing. So get some questions in. You're most welcome. I'll love to answer anything you've got to say about this. You may have enjoyed it. You may have thought it was superb. But unfortunately, I was disappointed with this Shy Retirer from Badco Brewing Company in Yorkshire. So that's about it for a Briggs on Beer video. Thanks once again for listening to what I've got to say. I always appreciate you taking the time to look and listen to the beer review. So that's about it. So until next time, it's goodbye for now, and as always, enjoy your beer.